The Chicago Bulls use a balanced attack to get a win over the Los Angeles Lakers at home, 124 to 108. We got big performance from DeMar DeRozan. Kobe White shows up and make big shots yet again. Complete balance from the starting lineup. We're going to talk about it all and more, break it all down. But first, got to play that winning intro, though. You already know what it is.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
The Chicago Bulls get a much-needed win over the Los Angeles Lakers, now inching closer and closer to finally trying to start being a 500 team. This was a big night from the bench. From the starters. Complete balanced day. Patrick Williams with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He goes 6 of 10 from the field as well, giving some really good defense at times in this game. DeMar DeRozan leads the team in scoring with 27 points, going 12 of 16 with also 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Vooch, better second half than the first half. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block from Vooch. He's 4 of 13 from the field. That's just not going to get it done. Kobe White, 7 of 18, 3 of 6 from three-point range, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 17 points in this game. Then Alex Caruso rounding out the starters with 15 points, going 5 of 6 and 3 of 4 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. And then the key contributors off the bench, the 3 players that we know are going to be getting minutes consistently for the Bulls: Ayo with 14, Javon Carter with 10, Andre Drummond with 11 points and 7 rebounds. And then we got 21 minutes for Dalen Terry. You know how many minutes Torrey Craig averaged? 21. Dalen Terry stood in there and got every minute basically that you usually would have went to Torrey Craig. So shout out to Dalen Terry. And I'll say this, while Dalen's shot still needs ton of work, and it's still that's a shot that, you know, hopefully he gets to work on so he can find consistent offense at the NBA level. But I tell you what, Dalen Terry did some defensive things. He came in and stood in a couple of times in transition, getting some passes out there, stuff like that. But hey, this was a much better performance from Dalen Terry than I'm used to seeing. And at times last season when we saw Dalen Terry get a lot of minutes, things really didn't go his way like it did today. Dalen Terry found a way to impact and contribute to a game without the shot really falling on him, even looking for offense a lot of times tonight. And that's big, I think, for Dalen's development. Only took 2 shots in this game. He made the regular field goal. He airballed a 3-pointer, but he also chips in 5 rebounds, 3 assists. All 5 of those rebounds coming in the first half of the game, but we're not going to knock him for that. He still had a positive plus-minus of +11, so it's really good to see the young guy get in there and get some minutes. But listen, I know Kobe White didn't have the over 20-point per game a scoring night, and with the balance that we had in that offensive that starting lineup, that's fine, but he still made an all-star impact. And coming into this game, I did say how I really wanted to see how the balance of the Chicago Bulls are going to face off against the depth of the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers went 11 deep in this game as far as people getting minutes when it counted, not crunch time. The Bulls, for the most part, went 8 deep. Went 9 deep with Dalen Terry getting 21 minutes, tying Ayo Dosunmu for the most minutes off the bench. But, hey, we matched the depth that they usually go to with the Lakers pretty darn well there. And I say that we did a pretty good job guarding the Lakers as well. When you look at Anthony Davis, 19 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks. He averages over 2.5 blocks per game. LeBron James, 10 of 18 for 26 points. But Prince, 16 points. You got Cam Reddish with 13 points. And then, you know, that's really it. Austin Reeves did have 21 points off the bench as well in 28 minutes. And, you know, a lot of people are kind of down on the prospect of the Bulls maybe getting Austin Reeves back in the Zach LaVine trade. I'll tell you what, I think Austin Reeves would actually be a pretty nice compliment to Kobe White. But that's a speculation in the story for another day. We're not reporting on that right now. But this was a big game for the Bulls, and I'm glad they were able to get a win, pull it out in the way in which they did. And that's an important thing. And so when you start looking at what we always look at here, those nitty-gritty stats, right? That's what I like to call them for the Chicago Bulls. When you look at it, we out-rebounded them by 8. We were out-rebounding them by 7 at half, so we kept that going, kept up that same pace. 23 points off turnovers, which was really big because the Bulls had 10 turnovers in the first half of the game. They end up with 15. The Los Angeles Lakers end up with 13. So we didn't win the turnover battle, but we did win the points off turnover battle, which is a really big thing and good to see happen from this team as well. So that's good as well. to get from the Chicago Bulls, just to see this team come in, be able to perform, take care of the ball a little bit better in the second half as well. We shot the ball 54% overall from the field in this game and 52% from three-point range. The Bulls are tough to beat when they're shooting the ball like that. We took 34 threes, hit 18 of those, and we were 48 overall field goals in this game, including three-pointers. And then we had 25 assists on 48 made baskets. That's a pretty solid assist ratio there to Belkett getting. So the Bulls took care of the ball better in the second half. Like I said, we won the second chance battle as well. Those are all good things to see. We won the points off the bench battle. So the Bulls came in there and they took care of business, man. Back at home in the UC, the UC was rocking. That's always a good thing to really see when we have the United Sitters all in there engaged. It's a different type of environment. For anyone who has never gotten to see a Chicago Bulls game at the United Center, I don't care if you live in Timbuktu, find your ass away to Chicago and catch a Bulls game eventually in the United Center to really change the way you kind of get hype about these games, because once you know how rocking it gets in the UC when the Bulls are winning, it's great to see, man. So, hey, great win by the Chicago Bulls, a complete team win. We came in, we executed, we took care of what we needed to take care of, and the Bulls just continue to look good. We are now 7-3 in 10 games without Zach LaVine. 7-3. That's not anything to just overlook, man. This team is performing. This team is playing for each other. This team is executing well. And when you look at the Chicago Bulls, since the calendar switched to December, the Chicago Bulls are 12th in offensive rating. We're 14th in defensive rating. We're 10th in net rating at +3 at 3.5. We're 10th in assists. We're 8th in three-pointers, right? We are killing it right now. We're first in offensive rebounds. The Chicago Bulls right now are playing a brand of basketball that is sustainable. And keep in mind, we're talking about all this on a night where Nikola Vucevic didn't shoot the ball well at all. He went 4 of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from three-point range. So shout out to that. 13 points from Nikola Vucevic. We're easily talking about if Vuce shot the ball better. We're talking about him having easily a 20 and 10 night, 19 and 10 night, something like that. So this team is rocking right now, man. And it's different. This team is, you can feel it. And I know a lot of Bulls fans are asking the question legitimately, are the Bulls going to trade Zach LaVine? Is there a chance that they may hold on to him? And when you hear that the Bulls are really kind of still motivated to trade Zach LaVine, this is why. I'm sorry. I love Zach. I'm not blaming everything on Zach. What the Bulls were going through, their struggles were not completely on Zach LaVine. I want to make sure that I say that. But I also want to make sure I say this has been, I'm not going to say will be forever. This has been a better basketball team without Zach LaVine. And I just don't think that there's any more questions left to that. This team is playing, it's night and day, even with DeMar DeRozan slowing down the offense at times, like a lot of people complain about. This team is a better team without Zach LaVine. And it has been since he went down. And that's just facts. You can argue about it. Go talk to your one titty having auntie, because it ain't really no argument to be had on it. This team has been better without Zach LaVine, and it's noticeable, it's palpable. You feel it, you see it. It passes the eye test, it passes the win-loss test, everything. This team has been better without Zach LaVine, and you really got to start considering, do you want to disrupt this chemistry from this team by potentially bringing Zach back? And so that may factor in. Are the Bulls going to get the value that a lot of Bulls fans want and should want for Zach LaVine? Probably not. But and is this hurting Zach LaVine's trade value? Absolutely. But here's what I'll tell you with that. I would much rather something hurt Zach LaVine's trade value than hurt the development of the players that we're seeing. We just saw Dalen Terry give a positive 21 minutes and look like he belonged at an NBA level. Do you really want to stop that? Right? This is stuff that we've been asking for years. Kobe White is rocking and looking amazing. He is the engine that keeps this team going. It's why the offense looks so much better. We know about Billy Donovan's offense. When you have a point guard playing at a high level, it makes the offense look the way it's supposed to look. And at the end of the day, this team right now is balling. And yes, we are a better team right now without Zach LaVine. That's it. Like I said, you can argue it if you want to. The only argument you're getting out of me is with your one titty auntie, because there ain't nothing to be said here. This team has been better without Zach LaVine. And that's it. Now we got to see if they're going to keep it going. We're going to see how long we're going to ride this out. Could the Bulls come crashing down and have 2 terrible weeks? Yeah, it's possible. But at the end of the day, this team is now 12-7. 12-17. 12-17 and 7. Over half of those wins came while Zach LaVine was out, not playing in these games. That's not something you could just overlook, bro. That's not something you can overlook. And keep in mind, I'm not a Zach LaVine hater. I like Zach LaVine. I want to see Zach LaVine succeed. I hope that Zach LaVine, wherever he goes and finds a title. He goes and wins a championship. I really hope that for Zach LaVine. But at the end of the day, the thing that I'm worried about hurting isn't the trade value. It's the development of these young guys and how they're going and what this team is turning into. We saw Dalen Terry look like an NBA player. And how many of you guys were just complaining about at the start of the season that Dalen Terry was a bust? Dalen Terry isn't an NBA player. Dalen Terry isn't this. Dalen Terry isn't that. Dalen Terry came out today and looked like an NBA player. Now, it's still a flawed one, right? But this is the opportunities that you're not affording yourself if you just bring Zach LaVine back in. So right now, I think the way that the team is playing, the way that the team is rocking and rolling, it's great, man. And at the end of the day, I really love to see how this team has been playing, man. This team looks like a legit basketball team now. This team looks like a team that's going to fight, is giving energy, is giving the effort. And that's something that's benefiting. Io looking better, right? That everything is just fitting together right now. And you got to give your hats off as well. As much as I hate giving him credit because I don't like him at all, it's Billy Donovan. I got to give Billy Donovan some credit for having these guys prepared. The Bulls came out in this game, and the reason why they got into an early lead is that they had a defensive game plan that they came out and executed well. Now, it dropped down in the second quarter where the Lakers closed that lead out, but we came back again, prepared in the third quarter, pushed that lead back up, kept the momentum up. Those are things that you got to give it up. They're being coached well right now. And like I said before, a big part of that is because you have a point guard playing at a high level that helps Billy Donovan's system look good. But the Bulls won 3 out of 4 quarters today. 3 out of 4. This team right now is playing. They're hooping, man. And if you want to deny it, that's on you. But like I said, this team is looking amazing. This team is looking great. And I hope that this continues, man. And we got 2 easier games coming up now on our schedule. We got the Spurs coming up tomorrow. The Cleveland Cavaliers with all their injuries coming up on Saturday. And at the end of the day, man, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. This was a good game, a good execution to see your team come out in. And I love the way that this team's playing right now. But let's go ahead and go to some of the comments. It refreshed on me. You guys are going off, so I lost some of your comments already. We got Baki in the building. Says Zach can't come back to this team. If I'm AK, I'm not letting Mr. Clutch Sports play another game for the Bulls. Not going to stop the development of P. Will, Kobe, or Io. Can agree with you on that one. Super Duper Danko says, man, I said smiling watching these young boys stand up to the challenge of the Lakers and LeBron. They held that lead, and I kept saying, we hooping that ass. We whooping that ass. Hey, listen, shout out to you on that one. Eads Instruments in the building says, also here, the Bulls trolling the Lakers with that intro music. That's crazy. That's crazy. Maestro says, let's go. We work hard and stay competitive. Our defense is A1. The defense that the Bulls are playing with. I talk a lot about the offense, but you got to give it up for the defense and the way that they're executing right now. This defense is playing extremely, extremely well right now, man. But yeah. We got Kyle in the building says, Haize, DeMar got 75% field goal. That's crazy. That's why when people were saying like, hey, DeMar did this, DeMar did that, 12 of 16 from the field with 9 assists, 27, 9, and 7. Almost a triple-double. Like, DeMar took care of business. Now, did he want to do it because it was the Lakers? Maybe, but DeMar took care of business today, man. He's taking care of business, period. David says, LA can have LaVine. We'll keep the rest. That's funny. Carlos says, too much sauce. Hey, the Bulls are balling right now, bro. That's all I can say. Like, the way that this team is playing, like, are you not just proud of seeing how this team plays? As a Bulls fan, do you not watch this team and it doesn't just make you smile, right? That's the thing with it. This team is playing and giving heart, effort, and everything consistently, man, consistently. Damn, Haize, just a few weeks ago, I was ready to boycott this team and team to looking at ticks. Hey, that's what it does, and that's why it's an early season. And I know when the Bulls are going through it, and we said early on, I don't know if you guys remember, like the Bulls got completely killed by Detroit early in the season. And Steve-O was on the post-game show. I was like, it's one game. It's not one game. It's not one game. But again, nobody would have known that these changes would have happened. So I'm not holding that against anybody. But this is why you can't give up on things early on. You can't give up on players early in their career. You can't give up on seasons too early, because there's so much basketball left to be played. And at the end of the day, hey, listen, the results are in the pudding. The Bulls are looking really good right now. Like I said, this can all come crashing down in a week or two. But right now, we're riding the wave. It's high right now, and you gotta love it. You gotta enjoy it, man, because it is what it is. One to the auntie. I'm just saying, man, you gotta like, you gotta argue with your one to the auntie, bro. Like that's can't argue with me. One to the auntie, bro. That's crazy. Spicy Butter in the building says the style that the Bulls are playing complement the style that's best for Zach. This is easy for him to come in and plug in. Simply pay attention to when he was at his best. That's real talk. I mean, theoretically on paper, right? But the thing is, we've seen things that were supposed to happen on paper in the NBA not happen at all. Chemistry is a thing, and you can talk about all the analytics, all the things, all that. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just can't disrupt chemistry, no matter how somebody theoretically could fit in. And so it is what it is there. Passive P is becoming proactive P. I mean, he's coming passionate P. You gotta give that passionate P. Zach got to be looking at himself in the mirror and thinking maybe it was me. Hey, bro, him and Jada Pickett both will never understand that they are the problem. No, I'm just playing. Zach LaVine was not the only problem on here, bro. But you know what it is, man. Send LaVine to China. No, he's not. Zach LaVine is not that bad, bro. Come on. We're not sending him to the Wong Dong Tigers, bro. Like, what we doing here? What we doing? Trade Vooch, please? No, that's stupid. Vooch ain't going anywhere anytime soon. One to the auntie, I love you, Haize. How the hell do you come up with this shit on the fly? My brain is a dark and twisted, crazy ass place, bro. That's all I can say with that. The way that Haize's brain works is not, you don't want to think like Haize. The fact that I pulled that out of anywhere, where did one titty auntie come from? I wish I could tell you. I have no fucking idea, bro. None. I have no idea where one titty auntie came from. It just, it was in my brain. It came out. And that is what it is, bro. That's all I can say on that one. But let's keep it pushing. Hopeful Elect says Zach will be doing us a favor if he just run around screens all day like Ray Allen and take a lesser role. But the thing is, and if that's the case, yes, I'm not saying that Zach LaVine theoretically can't fit in that way. But the one thing is that if it doesn't work out, it's gonna hurt his trade value. There's very few outcomes of this that don't hurt Zach LaVine's trade value. Can we get an update on how many games we've won since Haize said we will not win a game until January? Hey, that's crazy. I think it's now at eight or nine. I think is where it's at. That's crazy, man. That's wild. Alex Larez says it's time you take the if you can out of see red if you can. Y'all know I still got to say that because everybody ain't gonna see red, bro. Like at the end of the day, like there's still some people that are looking at this and saying, hey, man, this is not sustainable. The Bulls aren't going to win. You think this is a championship team? Like you got people that think that's like, no, it's not that, but we're rocking and rolling right now. Jiggly Norris. Shout out to that username. So shout out to the boys, the in-season champs and their in-season banner and current losing streak. That's funny. That's funny. King Cap said we got murdered by Detroit. Yeah, we got absolutely, completely wasted by Detroit. That was crazy. I love how Dalen Terry was stealing cookies and chains tonight from the Lakers. Melvin, if you're in prison, just say that, Melvin. Like, just say that, bro. If you're in prison, just say stealing cookies. You stealing cookies, bro? Hey, listen, I'm not one to judge, my brother. Angelo Williams says, why it looked like someone shot Darvin Ham in the head with the bean popper. That's wow. That's crazy. Super chat. Thank you for the super chat from Mario P. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. Says, man, I'm happy, Haize. We beat a Western Conference final team at full strength, and we haven't even gotten the value out of a Zach trade yet. From here, do we look to string wins, be active in the trade market or something else, get draft picks and develop? Well, I mean, through everything that we heard, the Bulls are looking for win now pieces. And through the article that I actually dropped an episode on from Darnell Mayberry today, the Bulls are actually coveting more win now pieces than even future draft picks. So that definitely could be something down the road for the Chicago Bulls or what they're looking for. But I do think that this is a team that's going to look for complementary pieces. You're not going to get a player of Zach LaVine caliber, Bulls fans that's got to come to that realization. The people that are still saying, can we get Zion? Can we get AD? Can we get Pascal Siakam? That's not happening. It's not. And you got to come to that understanding and realization and then just realize where you sit at. So I think at the end of the day, this team is still looking to win. They're still looking to compete. And that's what it is. Jay Hamad says, Haize, you think P. Will is worth the contract he wants now? Well, that wanting $200 million was never real. Like, let's just be clear here. It was never real. But at the end of the day, I do think that he's earning himself another contract. And that just is what it is. So, we'll see what comes about with that. But at the end of the day, P. Will is going to be here. Like, I think there's a very slim to no chance that P. Will does not sign a contract extension with the Chicago Bulls. And I don't think it's going to be $20 million. Well, $200 million for sure. I do think that he can get upwards between $16 to $18 million. I do think that that's feasible for Patrick Williams, but he's not getting that $200 million. That's just not happening. Nathan in the building says, we are witnessing a team that has finally bought into the concept of moving the ball and playing fast. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what changed. No, because it's more than that. Because honestly, the Bulls aren't playing. Their pace isn't that much faster than what it was before. If you go and look at their pace has changed by it's very minuscule amount. But the thing is how they move. It's the fact that I think the offensive rebounding, the fact that we're first in offensive rebounding over the last, since November, that's the bigger thing than playing fast. We're really not playing that much faster. So our pace hasn't changed that much, but we're getting more rebounders. We're fighting. We're moving without the ball. Those type of things are helping. Getting turnovers. Those things are helping for sure with the Chicago Bulls team. And like I said before, Billy Donovan's system always looks better when you have a point guard playing at a high level. CJ724 says, I'm going to be honest, I don't see this dying down. Something clicked with this team and it works. Well, here's the thing. Even great teams die down for periods of time. I'm not saying it's going to stay die down. I'm just saying that best believe that at some point, this team is going to go on another losing streak. Like it's going to happen, and it may be a decent one. It's going to happen at some point. But the thing is that even if that does happen, you're seeing a team now that you would trust is going to be able to come out of that, maybe even sooner than what they would have earlier in the season. So that's the difference with it. That's the difference. Let's see what else we got in here. Expensive J Price says, do we still hate Billy or wanting for the season to play out because it's still early? I mean, listen, my dislike of Billy Donovan is always going to be there because he's still that coach. But at the end of the day, like I said, I even have to admit that his system works better when you have a point guard playing at a high level. And DeMar playing at the level that he is, it's always gonna look better. Kobe. Hey, Haize, Bulls won on my B-Day, and that was my B-Day wish. Go Bulls. I saw Red tonight. Y'all give it up for Seaway's World. It is her birthday. I almost forgot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna front like I remembered. I did almost forget. Y'all shout out to Seaway's World. She's literally been here basically since the beginning. I spent the better part of a year and a half calling her sir because I didn't pay attention to the Avi. But y'all give it up to Seaway's World, man. Happy birthday to you, ma'am. I hope you had an amazing one. And hopefully you're still out there on the slopes, right? Yasir says, or Jasir, you told me how to pronounce it, and I know I'm fucking it up. DeMar played like he got the call that them child support payments got lowered. Love the channels, bro. Let's go, Bulls. Oh, by the way, guys, please go and subscribe to I'll put the link in the comment section. I'm losing a lot of lost words. So we had to make a new NBA Central channel. For those that know, we had a general NBA channel. It got up to 1,600 subscribers. We had to make a new one because of reasons. And so if you guys want to hear general NBA content from us, it's not just me. It's all the guys from Chi-Town Sports Central. So you'll see Steve-O, Big Kev, Bobby, C-Dub, all there. I'm gonna put the link in the description. We had to make a new one, so we lost all our subscribers. So go over there and hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel grow, and we're gonna be delivering basically daily general NBA content there as well. But let's go ahead and get into it. Would be even smoother W if the team didn't lost the focus, sometimes lose the focus. Too many silly turnovers. I'm glad that Debo used his veteran toolkit to claim things. Completely agree with you. And that's why what DeMar brings, there are absolutely going to be times where we just need that. Wholeheartedly, that we just need it. And that's why I'm not as critical on DeMar and some of the things that he does when it's successful. Now, if he comes in and slows down and does his 100,000 pump fakes and the offense just completely comes to a halt, It is what it is when it comes down to that. So that's when you want to start seeing the ball put in Kobe's hands a little bit more. So first of all, finger sleeves says, how do you know about my auntie? First of all, if you got a one titty auntie, bro, like, I mean, that's wild. That is crazy. That's crazy. We got murdered by Detroit. It's not an uncommon phrase in this world. That's crazy. That's wild. That's actually a pretty wild comment there, Brandon. That's BKR. That's crazy. Matter of fact, when you come to the States after we hit 20,000 subscribers, we're gonna drive through Detroit. I'm gonna drop you off there. I'm gonna drop you off in Iraq. Yeah, yeah. Ricky Fontaine in the building says Darvin Ham really got shot, man. That's crazy. Little bro, we need to be at the Bulls game on January 12th. That shit gonna be lit. They're honoring the champs. Want to see Pimp and Curl up in the shame for talking shit about the GOAT. That's funny. I won't be able to be there, unfortunately. I would have loved to be there. I won't be able to. But yeah, that's I hope you get to see it, man. Baki in the building says Zach to the Kings for Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, and Davion Mitchell. Hey, that's one of those rumor trades. That's definitely one of the rumor deals. Didn't Kobe learn under CP3 for a minute? Yeah, it's like he's actually been training under CP3 since he was like in high school or something like that. So that ain't nothing new there. That's nothing new. Has P. Will turned the corner? He's turning the corner. I can't say he's turned the corner yet. I need to see it maintain. I honestly say it probably take for the rest of the season for me to be able to say adamantly that he's turned the corner. I do think that he is turning the corner, and that's something good to say. I think he's approaching that. He's getting to the place where we need and want him to be at, and that's a good thing, good to great thing for him for sure. But I think that the way that he's playing right now is how we want him to play. And if he keeps that up, we'll definitely be able to say that he turned the corner. But right now, we've seen flashes from P. Will before. Now, nothing this long. Like it's been staying consistent for Pat for quite a while. It's been pretty consistent. But you just want to see that keep going and maintain before we can say he actually officially turned the corner, right? So there you go on that one. Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls says, gotcha, subscribed. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. Johan says Kobe for most improved player. I think a lot of people are going to agree with that. I think when you see the way that Kobe White's playing, and not just playing, but impacting wins, it's definitely part of that. Definitely part of that. Archangel says, hey, how's your son feeling? You look a little bit tired. You okay? I'm exhausted. I'm not even going to front on you. I am exhausted. It's been a day taking care of his sick kid. He's been sick for a couple of days. Luckily, he's knocked the hell out right now, which is always going to be a good thing. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Am I a little tired? Yeah, it is what it is, though, there. Lester in the building says, glad to see Terry got some meaningful tick. When the shot starts falling, his confidence will blossom. Unlike Pat, we won't have to worry about his aggressiveness. I mean, that is a sign there. I do think that the way that he's been playing, you can definitely say he won't necessarily have to worry about his aggressiveness. So that's a big thing there as well. So very, very big shout out there. Let's see. Koji Boy the Kid. Are you new here? I thought you were Bulls Daily for a second. The casual in me saying we winning it all. Hey, the excitement right now, I can understand you saying that. Like the way that we're playing right now, this feels different. This feels like a team that can go out and maybe on a run. That can get out the play. This definitely feels like a team that has the ability to do that. But you know, we got to see if it's gonna maintain, right? But the way this team is playing right now, the confidence should be high in the team. It should be high around everyone because yeah, they're balling right now. Balling. Johan in the building says third in the league for 3-pointers made, and he's shooting them things deep. From Kobe, yeah, he's extending the defense, and he talked about it. It's intentional. He's finding his spots, and he's extending that defense to give a little bit more room to operate for Vooch and DeMar. So DeMar finally flowing with his offense and coming in clutch when needed. This is why you need a clutch player on your squad that can get you buckets when going on droughts. And that's always been one of DeMar's best attributes, is that he's the player when you need a bucket, when you can't score, he's either going to score or get to the free throw line. He's been that guy for a while. And yeah, it's a big impact for DeMar when he's able to do that. And I love when DeMar is able to do that at a consistent level. Let's see. BKR Sports said, you said before we won't get anyone of Zach LaVine's caliber at this point. I think it's a good question. What is Zach LaVine's caliber? By that, I mean like a 20-point per game scorer, right? Somebody who can score at the rate that Zach LaVine can and can impact the game the way that Zach LaVine can when he's on right. And I know some people say impact winning, but I'm saying impact the game. My words are chosen very carefully there. I don't think we're going to get that. I think we're going to get 2 or 3 players back for Zach LaVine, but I think the totality of what they bring, especially with how they fit on whatever this team is at that point, especially considering the Zach LaVine trade is going to go down at a time where we probably don't have Torrey Craig as well. So if we do get some added size, it's going to be even more important, but you're not getting one singular player that's at the level of what Zach LaVine is able to do at his best. And I think that's what you're looking at for. So let's see. Lester in the building. Brother, hope your son recovers soon. Much respect for you being for you to hang with us during the period. Fatherhood is everything. Oh, for sure. If he was sick, I wouldn't even. I mean, if he was up, I probably still wouldn't. I wouldn't even been on this live stream, to be quite honest. Guys probably would have had Steve-O, Bobby, and Kev and C-Dub here because I got to take care of the little one when he's sick. But luckily, he passed out. He's finally got some sleep, so that definitely helped. Super Duper Danko says, I can honestly say these young guys are making things about them, and it's great to see. Let's focus on their growth and less of Zach. That's going to happen how it will, but these young guys are here now. Great point, and that's kind of something I've been saying on the last couple of daily episodes. Like, I understand that the Zach LaVine thing is going to be a story. It needs to be talked about because it is going to have an impact on whatever the future of this team is. But at the end of the day, I would just love it for the main thing that we're talking about is celebrating the growth of these young players, because it's coming, it's there, and it's noticeable, and it's big. And I think that it's something sustainable for the future of this team as well. And if we keep going in that direction, it's going to be big into it, man. It's what we're building here right now actually starts feeling like something that you're really looking forward to see what the outcome of what we build here. What's going to be the outcome of what P. Will turns into? Can Kobe keep this up? And if and when he does, how much higher can he rise? Still only 23 years old. He still has areas that he can still grow. Even with all the growth that he did so far this season, he still can grow and add to his game after this season. So that's what I would love for the story and the focus to be on with the Chicago Bulls right now, is how these young guys are balling, developing, and what that means for the future of the Chicago Bulls franchise. I would love for that to be the case. I think that should be the case. And we'll end up seeing what happens. But yeah, let's keep it pushing. How can we get Zach to fit into the system? I mean, I think Zach has to want to fit in, or he has to make the conscious choice to fit in. And I think Zach LaVine's theoretical skill set fits into what we want to do here perfectly, but he has to want to fit in. And if he can't do that, then it's going to be a long time going for him. He has to want to fit in. Marvin, who hasn't left a voicemail all season, says, what's going on, guys? Good win tonight. Absolutely, Marvin. Get some voicemails in, bro. We miss your voice around here. Objective in the building says, about to go back to the Bulls Reddit and pull my post of when they tried to eat me alive after saying Zach doesn't deserve the max. Well, here's the thing. No, I think Zach still is a max level player. When you look at the max level contracts to go around the NBA, max level contracts no longer are just for franchise superstar level players. They're for players that have an elite skill set, and Zach LaVine and the way he's able to score the ball is great. One of the big problems with Zach is that he's been miscast as a number one. He's not that. But wherever he's traded to, he's not going to be the number one. I do think we're going to see a better and more focused Zach, because he can focus more on the things that matter the most, that he can do the best. That's kind of my thought process on it. Bulls for Life says, I think where Pat is right now is where we should have been last season, but because he didn't have a formal training camp with COVID and then the season stolen with the arm injury, it's good to see now. Well, no, I don't know if it would have been much different with that. I just don't think it. I don't think it would have been much different. I think Pat had to mature mentally, and I think that's the most important thing. I don't think his game, the physical part of his game, I don't think that's really changed very much. It's the mental part of Patrick Williams' game that really has changed a lot there. Lester says, seemed to me that Zach LaVine will be the Ray Allen type. He's not the franchise leader, but a scoring machine and hired gun like LeBron needed in Miami. Hey, points were made. Marvin in the building. I've been out for a little while, guys. Health issues, but fine now. Thank you, Jesus. Well, thank you for that. Prayfully, thank you for that, Marvin. I'm glad that you're doing well, brother. You deserve it, man. And we're glad to have you back, bro. Glad to have you back. But all right, guys, I got to get ready to go over and do Locked on Bulls. Sorry, I started the stream a little bit late today. Usually we go about 45, 50 minutes, but I was about 8-10 minutes late. But thank you guys so much, man. We're going to get ready to go over on Locked on Bulls, so make sure you guys go over there as well. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. Hit that subscribe button as well. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season, so hit that subscribe button both here and over at NBA Central. But like I liked and everything on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all. And let's play that winning outro. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
I see red, I see red.